This is part one. I have a Panasonic laptop. It's the CF-LX3, and I bought a few of them just to help somebody out. The issue with this one is the BIOS is locked with a password, so I'm going to have to remove the BIOS chip, which is right underneath that plastic here, and try to reprogram it and resolder it on. So I'm going to show you how I mask it up for hot air removal. So what I did is mask off the area. This is a high heat silicone tape with fiberglass inside. I'm going to use hot air at 360 Celsius. I'm just going to heat up the chip till this basically comes off. I'm not going to film that, but pretty straightforward. And use lots of flux, like you can see. I got the chip off. It was pretty straightforward. You can see it got pretty hot over here. I actually turned the temperature up a little bit to 380 Celsius, and I was able to get it off. I'll take the tape off here and make sure I didn't actually melt anything underneath this, because it was really close to the RAM slot. Let's take a look here. So it looks like it's okay. The tape did its job. You can see it got pretty warm there, but no damages. So let's take this chip and see if we could reprogram it. All right, so I got the chip off, cleaned it up, and I'm using this model reader, as you can see. I'm using the XGecu Pro software, and I'm able to find the model by reading the chip, so win bond. So I match it up with the software and I read it. And basically these ones are rewritable, so I could either get a new BIOS and reprogram it and resolder it and it'll be done, or I could try to find the password inside here and just zero it out. And I'm going to see if I could find that. And if I do see that, I will show that. Let's take a look. All right, so I got the bin file loaded with this program. It's called UEFItool, and it's a program on GitHub, and you could look for it on Google. Every laptop is very different. Everyone's unique. This particular model, I believe the password was saved under, if you look, search for list, it's the AMIT setup. And I just look for this code here, and basically what I'm going to do is just make it all zeros and write it back to the chip and then resolder it and see what happens. I could always try to get a different BIOS. There's many different websites out there that might give you a blank BIOS with, and then just basically take that and write it to the chip. So there's a few different options you could try. So I'm going to try this for now and see what happens here. All right, so what I did is save that new file. I already opened it with the XGecu Pro software and just wanted to read the chip, make sure it was okay. So I read the chip, erased the chip. Now let me check a look. Read it again. And once this is all done, it should all either be all zeros or Fs, or I'm not really sure what it's going to show, but should not see any hex or text other values other than that. Just want to verify it's good before I spend the time to resolder it on. It's just about done. See, everything is all clear. So now I'm going to reload that thing, unlock, and now I'm just going to program the chip. And I don't see no issues with this. It takes a few minutes, but you can see the program lights going. And while that's going, I'll look at the motherboard again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tin up these points here. I might add a little bit of solder flux, or we'll see, but usually putting that one back in, I'm just going to use the soldering iron instead of hot air. So I already kind of cleaned the board, all the flux, and kind of makes a mess in that area. So I'm going to solder that in, and then we'll do a test. All right, so I got the chip, as you see from the previous, installed, cleaned it up. This is one of those weird laptops that has another RAM module in the back, so to change that, you literally have to take the whole thing apart, take the motherboard off, blah, blah, blah. So I already did that. Put it on the back side just in case you want to put an extra stick in here. So that one came with 4 gigabytes. So I'm just going to plug this in now. It's probably going to recognize an error. Because they're kind of particular to what kind of AC adapter needs to be inside here. So and we're in. So you can change all your languages. I speak English, obviously, but well, it looks like it worked. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I can try to help. But I'll leave a link of, not a link, but I'll leave some ideas of the software I used and the equipment I used. Thanks.